All right, Coach. So week 3 of the season, SEC season kicks off this week with a match Friday against Georgia and then Sunday against Florida. Um, kind of an emotional week last week. Playing 5 sets late against Tennessee and then coming back Sunday against Kentucky and playing them tough. What is the team's kind of general feeling coming into this week with 2 more big matches ahead of them?
I think we saw some of the best volleyball that we've seen in our gym since I've been here, and that's a really promising thing. Win or lose, we won one, we lost one, but I feel like we might have even played better in the Kentucky match for the majority of that match, and I think they're feeling confident. I think they're feeling a little more accomplished, and I think it gave the team some confidence in that we can play with anybody in this league if we can stay focused long enough and keep our heads right and follow the scouting report and maybe that starts in practice every week, just giving a little bit more mental effort. But I really do feel like they're in a good place, and it kind of reconfirmed what we've been talking about all preseason is like we're a pretty darn good team. We have good athletes, and on any given night, we can pick off anybody else in the SEC if we're doing what we need to do.
And that match, especially on Sunday, going against Kentucky, that's perennially in the top 3, top 2 in the SEC. A big message for this team this year has been learning how to win and recognizing that this is a good team. But how important is it also to face those, Floridas and Kentuckys of the world and kind of knock back down? How important was that for the team on Sunday?
I think it was crucial. It's one of those things where, for the first time in a long time, we match up athletically at the net. We outblocked them 15-8, and that has not happened against a team like Kentucky in years in this program, and that makes us all proud because we do have the athletes and they are executing that skill. But it's just one example of the physicality that we can bring, and that puts you on an even playing field. Even if you're not passing quite as well or serving quite as tough, if you're out blocking somebody by that margin, you're staying in the match, and that's it's a confidence thing, and knowing that the team that just beat Florida at Florida 3-0, we had on the ropes, and that match could have gone either way. We could have been in a set 5 very easily had we had a few other breaks or pulled some plays out of our hat at the right time. So I like where we're at, and I'm looking forward to this weekend, and I think their heads are in the right places as well.
Factor for the team on Sunday was Alicia Starr. She finished with 11 total blocks, 2 solo, 9 assists. Also had 7 kills on 12 swings with no errors. When you go out and you look at warm-ups and you see Kaz Browns and Emily Franklin's, who are 6'4", 6'5", going up against a converted pin, basically, what have you seen from her mentally to kind of get locked in and kind of have the performances that she had on Sunday?
Alicia is such a great story because she's been an outside hitter in club volleyball for the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, she played middle when she was young and not very much. The thing with her is she's a really good athlete. She gets off the floor quickly. She sees the game extremely well. She's got good vision. She's really smart. When the ball is not in an ideal position, she'll tip it around for kills or put the other team in trouble. She's always been a good blocker. That's one of her strengths as a left side hitter when I was recruiting her, was she's very good with her lineup and getting her hands over and making moves. And she's a very thin player up there. It's almost like you don't see her sometimes. She's so much smaller as far as the width of her shoulders, and just she's a track kid. She's just fast and skinny. And some of these girls who are juniors and seniors tower over her, and their shoulders are so much wider, and they've been lifting weights, and she's just in there quietly out blocking everyone. And so it's really fun to watch. She does it with a smile on her face. She's such a great teammate to take on a new position as a freshman, get thrown into the fire, and come in and do what she's done for us. I couldn't be more pleased. And it was a total surprise. Like we had no idea she could come in and play middle for us like that, and it's a great thing. It's a really great thing.
And looking ahead to this weekend now with Georgia coming up on Friday night, Georgia's in a kind of a similar position to you guys, where they've had a bounce-back year, already at 12 wins after winning just 5 all of last season. They seem like they have a lot more depth on their attack. What have you seen for them on film, and kind of how are you game planning for them this season as opposed to years past?
Well, I do think they are much improved. I think, part of it for both programs is we're healthy. They had health issues last year, and so do we. We were missing starters, and that didn't really allow us to be as successful as we could have been. And so I think that's a big piece of it, just being able to consistently have a starting lineup that you can dial in all week long during practice and get ready to scout for another team with the right pieces in place so you can match up. And I think that's what we're both trying to do. I think they're very strong in the middle both with attacking and blocking. And so to neutralize that, we're going to have to serve tough and keep them from running their middles a lot. We're going to have to be smart with our attacking and not hit straight ahead into their big middle blockers. And I think our pins need to be good this weekend, especially. We need to be good with ball control, and we need to be good with making smart shot selections when we're seeing big physical blocks at the net. So I'm looking forward to the matchup. It's going to be a packed house again on a Friday night, and Georgia football's coming in playing Saturday, so I know there's going to be a lot of fans from both programs. I think it's a little bit of a rivalry, just like football, because we're so close. We recruit a lot of the same kids out of Atlanta, so I'm really looking forward to it. But we are definitely solely focused on Georgia right now, and nobody else, because we gotta take care of business with that one first.
Obviously, Friday is the Dick Pink match. Tremendous call. Just how important is it for you and your team to raise awareness for that?
I think it's one of the most important things we do every year. Everybody on our staff and on our team has been affected somehow by a loved one either having breast cancer and surviving it or not surviving from it. And everybody has their story, whether it's a family member or a friend, and it's such a big thing in all sports now. But I feel like with volleyball, it's very much highlighted in the fall because we're one of the few female sports that are playing, and now that we're on TV more and raising the awareness even more, like we did some really cool stuff for our kids this year. We ordered them some Under Armour shoes that are pink, so they're gonna be able to wear those the whole month of October, and our kids are stoked about all that stuff. But they've also reached their goal with the amount of money that they wanted to raise as a team, and we always do a really good job of that. And I think the community always jumps on board and comes out in full force wearing their pink, and to continue to raise the awareness. It's an awesome cause.
Yeah, and I know your team has been very involved with community service over the years, one of the best, in fact. So I'm sure they kind of took on that challenge with raising that money, and obviously excelled at it. How proud were you of that?
Yeah, extremely proud of how our kids take a hold of that community service piece, because it is so important. And we try to make the experience here an overall student athlete experience. It's not just about what we're doing on the court. That's a piece of it, but it's what we're doing in the classroom. It's how we're acting off the court and in the community, and what we're doing to give back that I think really gets the respect that these players deserve, because not everybody's a starter, and not everybody gets to be on a winning team, but you can be a winning team in other ways. And this year we happen to have a winning record, and we're doing pretty well, and hopefully we're going to keep that going. But I'm just as proud of what they do in the classroom. We win in the classroom, we win in the community, and we win in a social setting. We don't make a bad name for ourselves at the university, and I think that's something that we can all be really proud of. And just keep in mind that it's an overall package. It's not just about one thing for us.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.